In this video we're going to be finding the equation of a straight line that passes through 2 points. So the coordinates we've been given here for our first point is 2, 7, and our second point is 4, 13. So first thing I like to do is label our x and y coordinates and label which point is point 1 and which point is point 2. So just because of the order, I'm going to make this point 1 and this point 2, but it wouldn't technically matter if you did this the other way around. So that makes this the x coordinate of point 1, and 7 is the y coordinate of point 1, 4 is the x coordinate, of point 2, and 13 is the y coordinate of point 2. Now, in order to find the equation of a straight line, our end game here is y equals mx plus c. And we're trying to figure out what the gradient is first of all, and then afterwards we're going to try and figure out what the y-intercept is. So when we're giving two sets of points, as we have done, our gradient formula is rise over run, or the difference in y coordinates over the difference in x coordinates. Being careful with how I sub everything in now. y2 is 13, 7 is y1, all over 4 is x2, and 2 is x1. That then simplifies to being 6 over 2, which gives us a final gradient of 3. So that means that we know that y equals 3x plus c. That's us found half of what we needed to in the question. The last thing we need to calculate now is our value of c. Now how we do this is we put in an x, y combo. We put in the coordinates of a point that lies on the line, because if it lies on the line then it works for this. So if we put in any x, y combo, we will be able to then solve for c. So we could choose either 2 and 7 as x and y, or 4 and 13 as x and y. It doesn't make a difference. Generally speaking, you want to pick the nicer looking ones or the smaller numbers, any that don't have negatives. So I'm going to go with 2 and 7 here. 7 is the y coordinate, 2 is the x coordinate. And then that leaves us with a 3 times 2 and a plus c. That then simplifies by doing 3 times 2 to give us 6 plus c. And then if we take away 6 on both sides, that will end up giving us c is 1. All that's left to do now is to write our final answer. So y equals mx plus c is what straight line's all about, most of the time anyway. And we now just write that. So our gradient was 3 and our c value is 1. So y equals 3x plus 1. Another example. Same situation as before. Exactly the same, except our x and y coordinates are different and there are negatives in the mix here. So I'll go through this example a little bit quicker. Y equals mx plus c is still what we're looking for. Trying to find the equation of a straight line. Unless your question says otherwise, y equals mx plus c is your go-to. So our gradient, y2 minus y1, that's going to be minus 4, take away 11, over x2 minus x1. Careful with the negatives. That's 8 subtract minus 2. Now when you simplify that, the top's going to become negative 15, the bottom's going to become 10, and then that's going to give you either negative 3 over 2 or negative 1.5, whichever you prefer. So that means that we now know part of our equation. We have y equals negative 3 over 2x or negative 1.5x plus c, whichever you prefer. After that, let's sub in a point. So what's the nice looking point here? I'll go with 8 minus 4. So minus 4 equals negative 3 over 2 times 8 plus c. That then simplifies. When we do negative 3 over 2 times 8, that will give us negative 12 plus c. And then when we add c to both sides to get rid of minus 12, we end up with 8 equals c. So m is negative 3 over 2 or negative 1.5, and c is 8. So our answer, either of these are correct. Option number 1 or option number 2. Done.